I believe in the way that I was trained that these are warrior arts and they were designed by warriors to kill people on the battlefield, and that is a very violent thing. And through violence, through pain, through constantly pushing yourself on the floor and getting your ass kicked and sparring, you become humble and you become enlightened. We talk a lot about the first Dan masters who they hop, skip it around, and they get a black belt here and a black belt here. They jump organizations, and I feel sad for those people that are like that, that's constantly jumping around in different organizations every 4 or 5 years. I feel sad for their students, feel bad for them, because their students are not getting the true understanding of what martial arts is supposed to be. The art of endurance. You don't quit something because it's fucking hard, and go do something easy just because it makes you feel good. You know what I mean? I mean, ultimately, the people that do that is setting a really bad example. You catch what I'm saying? And I'm just never going to do that. I'm not in it to have a ton of students. I'm in it to I want to train masters. I would rather have 10 masters in my lifetime than to have 1,000 students in my lifetime, right? Because I know if I train 10 people that master the art, they're going to make sure that it gets to the next generation. And then what my purpose here on life is to preserve this tradition and to preserve these teachings and to pass it on, it's going to happen. But if I have 1,000 people that suck and all they have is inflated rank and they can kiss ass, the chances of this tradition truly being passed to the next generation is slim. To me, when you're talking about ninja and samurai, they were soldiers that killed people for a living. Let's cut the shit. Forget the Meiji period, poetic stuff. Like, the reality of it is they were soldiers that killed people. There's no way you can actually teach that and then break it down PG-13 and water it down, little Bobby and his parents come in and they all get black belts together on the same day because they're on the same black belt program type of shit. Like, there's just no way. There's no way they could be teaching the true message. That they're watering it down. And in my opinion, they need to apologize to the arts that they claim to be a master of. You know what I'm saying? Another thing that I find ridiculous with this is because I'm trying to teach masters, I go with philosophies, principles, and strategies that masters can understand, not the sheep. And earlier we talked about, I posted a video on YouTube and I read you guys some of the comments. And one individual had made a comment and said, well, I may disagree with you on this, but I agree with you on this. Do you catch what I'm saying? And I get that kind of thing all the time. Usually I get that from the people that are not my students. They're not here at the Hambu, they're not in the online dojo or whatever. That's a usual thing. But when someone says they disagree with something, right? Ultimately, they should be talking about the why, not the what. Only in America, in modern day, maybe it's not just America, but in this modern day, we have this idea that's just so negative. It's like, if you're not like this person exactly, if the girls don't look like Kim Kardashian, if the guys don't have the muscles like, if the guys don't have the skin like, if the girls don't have the curves like, you know what I mean? Then you're just terrible, or you're not pretty, or you're not smart, or you're not athletic, or you're not good enough. You see what I mean? Like, there's a whole bunch. We live in this really shallow world right now. And I don't fit in this world, because that's not the way I view things. And when I could give a rat's ass about the people who are not students telling me shit. But when I have students, even though they may be in the online dojo, and they say, well, I disagree with you like this, but I agree with you here. I don't think they realize how shallow of a statement that is, and exactly how I truly believe that they don't understand what they're saying. You know what I mean? And I don't want to say stupid, we'll just say ignorant. They don't know any better, right? All of us wear clothing for a reason, right? We all wear clothes, and I'm going to bet you that clothing is for the same reason. You can't walk down Main Street with your ass hanging out. We all wear different clothes. It is extremely shallow for an individual to say, I disagree with you, because I wear Tommy Hilfiger and you wear Massimo. You don't disagree with each other. You're both wearing britches on your fucking ass. You're covering your ass. There's not a disagreement. You just choose to wear Tommy Hilfiger, and the other one chooses to wear Massimo. We get this all the time. Well, I disagree with you because I'm a Christian, and I know you're a pagan. Okay. Don't disagree with me. We're both practicing a spiritual practice to be heightened, spiritually heightened. You just choose to do it a different way. Where's your disagreement? But again, they're looking at it from a shallow perspective, right? Yeah. I said earlier, all of us, of course there was the hook, line, and sinker, the funny joke about it, but if all of us was on a reality TV show, every fucking one of us wakes up, does what we do, eats what we eat, wears what we wear, we go through a whole day, and then we go to bed. None of us are going to do the same thing. That does not mean we disagree with each other. We're all doing the same things for the same purpose. Just because you choose a different breakfast than I do, doesn't mean we disagree on breakfast. You just choose, we both agree we need to have breakfast. You know what I mean? You just don't eat red meat. I'm perfectly fine with loving bacon. Do you know what I mean? That's a choice. We both have to have breakfast. Do you catch what I mean? You see the shallowness of it. So when you have people, it's like, well, I disagree with you on religion because I'm a Christian. You know what I mean? But the reality of it is, no, we both agree that there needs to be a practice for spiritual enlightenment. You just choose a different flavor than I do. And that's okay. And that's what I mean by I'm in it to train masters. I believe that I believe the individual is greater than the art. Because without the individual, we have no art. If everyone dies, the art dies. It cannot live without us. The only way we can be us is to live our life to the fullest. Because if you're my students, then you know I preach individuality. I believe you should be you. Follow your heart. Don't follow what the social guidelines tell you to do. Do what you believe is correct. And if you do what you believe is correct, whether it's Christianity or Judaism or paganism or whatever, or you wear these kind of clothes or you wear these kind of clothes, that's okay. You do what's best, but we're all doing it for the same reason. The why is the same. The what is man-made. But the why the why is what drives us to be the person that we are, to be the master that we want to be. Why do we wear these clothes? Why do we practice this path? Why do you study ninjutsu? Right? Why do you do that? Not the what. Why? That's how you become great. That's where all of us agree with each other. But only shallow-minded people who think on a very basic level don't understand that. Whether it's relationships or how you live your life with relationships. Okay, well maybe someone has a certain kind of lifestyle with a certain type of relationships, and someone has another type of lifestyle with another relationship, right? So it is possible, right, that you could have a person over here that's polyamorous and has partners, and it's possible that you can have a transgender woman married to a woman of color, and they're married. Just the same, you can have a dude over here that's like, your typical Caucasian individual that's straight, married to a woman, and they have kids. But everybody that's in those relationships, whether it's polyamorous, I'm in a gay marriage, or you have someone that's in a straight marriage, we all agree it's not a difference, because we all agree that that's the way we live to fulfill the need of love in our life. And I know that's extremely difficult for people to see, because most people see that gay marriage is different than straight. And love is love. Spiritual practice is spiritual practice. If you have 5 Christians, all 5 Christians, I promise you, will practice their spirituality different. You have 5 pagans, they will all practice their spirituality different. So to say that this Christian disagrees with this pagan is ridiculous, because this Christian clearly disagrees with all the other Christians in their own damn church. So they don't disagree, they agree. They just choose to do it differently. And do you see how that most people can't get that thought? That is ridiculous, isn't it? The closed-mindedness of people. And I find it, I don't know. I wonder why people can't get that. But then you see the stuff that we see on the TV, and the hate, and the violence, and the bigotry, and the racism. And then it's not that shocking that people won't get it. Because a lot of people are just shallow. And like, you guys are right here and you're understanding what I'm saying. You're getting it. Because there's more to it than just a page. But some people, they're so shallow, they cannot comprehend how, well, this person likes Coke and that one likes Pepsi, so they disagree with each other. No, they're both thirsty. If you give everybody the same one option, then everyone takes the same thing. But they do it for the same reason. You have one person has a Pepsi, a Coke, an RC, a fucking tea, coffee, Mountain Dew. Everyone's going to choose something different, but they're drinking it for the same reason. Pleasure, thirst, whatever. We're all training for the same reason. We're training to be able to continue a lineage, continue a tradition, learn how to protect yourself and the ones you love, learn how to survive, and be better. Right? Yeah. That's why I've always said there's not one martial art better than another. Just dedicate yourself to the one you're doing. So some people's like, well, I want to learn how to do striking and grappling. Well, then go find a teacher that teaches striking and grappling. It's not about how many martial arts you're learning. It's dedicating yourself to a teacher and that school. That's what's important. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what's important. But they don't see it like that. If you just want to do striking, find someone that does striking. You want to do striking and grappling? Find someone that does striking and grappling. You want to do sports? Find someone who teaches sports. Everyone does it. They choose a different thing because of what they like. But they're all doing it for the same reason. It's an outlet, an expression. And martial arts is an expression through combative motion of who we are. Yeah? And the world is losing track of what's really important. And it's sad. And I just don't want you guys to fall into the same bullshit of it's really important and fall into this idea where, government's trying to control you and all these things are being passed and fear-mongering and the bullshit that's all over TV. Don't get wrapped up in the bullshit. Step back. Educate yourself and make an intelligent decision based on what you need to do and why you need to do it. That's what's most important.